University of New York, central office, and in Albany at HEX offices. As I noted, we have a quorum. This meeting is called to order. Welcome to all of you joining us in New York City and in Albany, as well as on the live stream. Here at CUNY Central Office, our fellow board members, Renee Sarmiento, Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management at CUNY, who is CUNY Chancellor Felix Matos Rodriguez designate. Thank you. Thank you for having us here today. Also with us is Mark Jerome, President of Monroe University, Isaac Torres, General Counsel at Carver Bank, Daniel Redden.
Daniel's not here
is
yet.
not here. We expect him shortly. Also with us today in New York City are Dr. Guillermo Linares, President of HESC, Doris Gonzalez, HESC Executive Vice President, and Dora Diaz-Crow, Audit Director. Representing Governor Hochul, we may have Maria Fernandez a little later on. She was Deputy Secretary for Education. In Albany, at the HESC office, are board members Becky Maxson, Deputy Director for Compliance and Policy at Cornell University, William Murphy, Deputy Commissioner for Higher Education at the New York State Education Department as designated for Commissioner Betty Rosa, Jamie Frank, Associate Vice Chancellor for Policy Implementation at the State University of New York as designated for Chancellor John King Jr., Dr. Manuel Rivera, Associate Professor at the Warner Graduate School of Education, University of Rochester, Giovanni Harvey, President of SUNY Student Assembly, and Genesee Paris, student at Cornell University.
Janessa is here in here at New York City. Apologies.
Okay.
And Mr. Harvey is not here in Albany yet.
Okay, good to have you. The head staff in Albany are Ellen Krejci, Acting General Counsel, Board Secretary, and Ethics Officer, Patricia Thompson, Vice President of Grants and Scholarships, Kayla Devine, who is Director of Finance, and Nadia Chansa, the General Counsel, whom Dr. Linares will formally introduce shortly. The agenda for today's meeting includes updates from members of HES staff, a report from the chair of the audit committee, and proposed resolutions to address amendments to HESC regulations, as well as a resolution of appreciation for one of our board members. But our first order of business is to approve the minutes of the December 4, 2024 meeting of the Board of Trustees. May I please have a motion to approve the minutes of December 4, 2014?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a second? Thank you. Any discussion? If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
And raise your hands. For the purpose of this meeting, please hold your hands up so that we can count the votes.
Okay, I want to say that Dr. Alicea, Mark Jerome, Janessa Perez, Renee Sarmiento, and Isaac Torres, all in the affirmative.
Okay.
And in Albany?
Gretchen, you call out those who voted in the affirmative in Albany, please.
And here in Albany, we have in the affirmative, Mr. Harvey, Mr. Murphy, Dr. Rivera, Ms. Frank, and Ms. Maxson.
Okay, any opposed or any abstentions? The motion carries and the minutes are accepted without change. I'll now ask Dr. Linares to proceed with the President's report.
Can I add that that Mr. Harvey joined us right before the vote, so he also voted for the vote if he's present now.
Good morning, and thank you all for joining us today. I want to express my gratitude to the board for your unwavering dedication to HESC, our state government, and our shared mission of making higher education accessible to all New York State students. HESC has carried the momentum from last year into 2025, building pathways for students to achieve their academic dreams. Today, I'm pleased to share updates on our efforts to expand access to education to ensure it is equitable and inclusive. April marked Financial Aid Awareness Month, a statewide effort that led by HESC to ensure students are informed about the financial aid opportunities available to support their educational goals. We hosted 23 FAFSA and TAP assistant events, helping students complete their applications. Throughout the month, 175,000 FAFSA and 47,000 TAP applications were submitted, ensuring many students can access financial support. To amplify our outreach, we expanded our social media strategies, launching a person on the street video series featuring direct interaction with students. I personally had the privilege of participating alongside Chancellor King and Chancellor Matos Rodriguez, answering students' questions and addressing their concerns about financial aid. I'd like to share a brief video clip to give you all a closer look at what these conversations mean for students. The video captures the trust and curiosity of our young minds and demonstrates how our presence on the ground is building pathways to opportunity and inclusivity.
As we know, and we can see that college is getting more and more expensive, and one of the biggest things for students is how are they able to get the support that they need? So I wanted to ask more about that.
We are doing all we can at the state level to make sure that students receive all the financial aid they're eligible for in New York State, and that's through the hard work and collaboration that we have in the state of New York.
Making sure CUNY is accessible to all our students is our first priority. We're very proud that close to 70% of our students between federal and state aid pay no tuition, and that 75% of our students graduate debt-free.
Affordability is a top priority for us at SUNY. We're really proud that our tuition is much more affordable than the tuition in neighboring states. And we continue to work to make sure that students access all the financial aid available.
I went to FAFSA, they got all done for me in less than a day, and then a couple of days later I had all the TAP.
FAFSA and Pell Grants, SUNY here, it gives me like a little aid as well.
I also get FAFSA, I get TAP, and I think the Wolfie grant.
I for FAFSA, I got that. I do get a merit scholarship here, which is more institutional.
Right now I'm getting TAP. It was very easy to get because once I applied to FAFSA, there was pretty much one button there that said, do you also want to apply to TAP? And I just clicked the button and I was already done.
It played.
Great job. These efforts have proven highly impactful, resulting in a 3,900% increase in our social media reach through April when compared to the previous month. This astounding outcome reflects the power of direct engagement and innovative outreach in connecting with New York's diverse student community. On the heels of a successful Financial Aid Awareness Month, there's more good news. We are pleased to announce that Nadia Chanza has joined HESC as our General Counsel effective May 12. Nadia brings more than 20 years of legal and public service experience, most recently as Director of the Administrative Hearings Unit at the Justice Center for the Protection of People with Special Needs. She has also held senior investigative and legal roles at OPWDD and served over a decade as an assistant district attorney in the Bronx. A proud TAP recipient, Nadia has a personal understanding of the life-changing impact of HESC work. She will lead our outstanding Office of Counsel team. Welcome to HESC family, Nadia. I also extend my sincerest thanks to Ellen Creasy for her exemplary leadership serving as acting general counsel since last December. Thank you, Ellen. Our outreach and engagement during Financial Aid Awareness Month created pathways for students to access support, but we also made significant strides in transforming financial aid itself. As you may recall, last year's expanded income eligibility threshold to TAP, thanks to Governor Kathy Hochul and the legislature, is estimated to allow 93,000 additional students to access funding, including 48,000 new recipients. This year, the 2025-26 budget includes a more simplified process for part-time students to apply for financial aid by consolidating 3 financial aid programs into one. Now students taking as few as 3 credits per semester qualify, thereby addressing barriers to underserved groups. Additionally, Governor Hochul's new initiative offers free tuition at CUNY and SUNY community colleges for adults ages 25 to 55 pursuing degrees in high-demand fields like nursing, teaching, and engineering. This program not only empowers students, but also addresses New York workforce needs. Equally important is ensuring that every eligible high school senior understands and takes advantage of these opportunities. Governor Hochul's groundbreaking Universal FAFSA Completion Initiative ensures that all high school seniors, beginning with the class of 2025, complete the FAFSA and DREAM Act applications. HES has supported this effort by expanding the FAFSA Ready initiative. To date, 11,000 students statewide have attended FAFSA events and received personalized guidance during this academic year. We've also broadened FAFSA counselor training programs, which have already engaged nearly 1,200 attendees in live or recorded sessions, and we recently launched specialized modules to help educators and partners better guide mixed family status or DREAM Act applicants. In terms of federal policy and the impact to education, we continue to make important strides in FAFSA completion. We currently rank number 7 in the nation for 2025-26 FAFSA completion, the highest position in our state's history. This milestone reflects the strong statewide collaboration among schools, community partners, and the HES team to support students and families through the application process. On the federal funding side, there is encouraging news about stability for the coming academic year. Core programs like Pell Grant, SEOG, and Federal Work Study remains funded at current levels. The Pell Grant maximum award will stay at $7,395, giving institutions and students a stable foundation to plan around. That said, we are keeping a close watch on future funding concerns. A $3 billion shortfall has been projected in the Pell Grant for the 2025-26 year. While this doesn't affect the current award levels, it's something we're monitoring closely as it could shape future budget decisions in higher education. We also continue to stay vigilant amidst federal policy changes, particularly the recent change changes at the U.S. Department of Education, we have included an update on your board meeting materials. But there is also promising momentum around expanding access through workforce-focused aid. The bipartisan Workforce Pell Act would allow students in short-term, non-degree programs to become eligible for federal aid. If passed, this could help more New Yorkers access affordable, career-aligned education and training opportunities that meet today's workforce demands. HES remains committed to ensuring inclusivity, particularly for mixed status families navigating financial aid challenges. A mixed status family is one where the student is a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen, but at least one of the student's family members who is a required FAFSA contributor is not. This week, HESC is launching a new application allowing these students to qualify for state aid without completing FAFSA. And our mixed status family guidance page continues to be a trusted resource for tailored support. Further, we will be hosting events to update and guide mixed status families and DREAM Act applicants through the financial aid process. Lastly, amidst our initiative to expand access and inclusivity, we remain focused on improving the system that support these efforts. By modernizing our processes and partnerships, we are creating a foundation that ensures efficient student-centered service delivery for years to come. A new partnership with the Office of Children and Family Services to outsource our level 1 support by allowing inbound calls and doubling the number of calls handled annually to address approximately 260,000 inquiries a year with real-time efficiency. This model, set to launch in the fall, with reduced wait time, improve student support, and provide key performance metrics for continuous service improvements. We're also continuing our effort to modernize our financial aid system with a student financial aid processing portal initiative. By consolidating systems, we aim to streamline application reviews and award administration. In April, we launched a request for comment to gather input from the vendor community to refine our approach. The comments, which has received on April 30th, will help us refine the request for proposal that we anticipate issuing in June. In closing, these updates showcase HES's dedication to breaking down barriers to higher education, creating accessible pathways for every student to succeed, and upholding our shared values of equity and inclusion. Your dedication and partnership have been instrumental in driving our progress, and together, we're shaping the future of education for all New Yorkers. Thank you for your unwavering commitment in this vital mission. And with that, I will hand it back to our chair, Dr. Victor Alicea.
Thank you, Dr. Linares, for that very comprehensive report that touches all the critical issues that we're all facing today. And I'm just absolutely proud to have heard you go through each one of them so comprehensively. Thank you very much, Dr. Linares, for that wonderful report. I also want to acknowledge that Ms. Nadia Chanza is with us.
Maria Fernandez is here. She just came in. Nadia is in Albany.
Nadia's in Albany.
But Maria
Fernandez is
there
with
she
us.
is.
Representing Governor Hochul.
Absolutely.
I now ask Ms. Kretschy to proceed with an announcement related to ethics training and other topics.
Yes, good morning. Were we going to ask for an approval of the minutes as well?
We did that already.
That already. Okay, yes, we did that already. I'm sorry. Good morning, everyone. As HESC's designated ethics officer, I'm responsible for establishing standards of conduct for all HESC employees to follow, so HESC can continue to maintain its high level of trust and credibility. This year, I'm working with HESC's internal control office to review and update our ethics and fraud policy, as well as our Project Sunlight policy, which relates to ethics as it requires employees to report meetings with outside individuals seeking to influence government activity. In addition, all of you as officially designated policymakers are required to file an annual financial disclosure statement with the New York State Commission on Ethics and Lobbying in Government. Financial statements for 2024 are due on May 15th, which is tomorrow. A filer may request a 45-day extension of time to file your financial disclosure statement based on justifiable cause or undue hardship. For more information, you can see me after the meeting, and I'll point you in the right direction for those forms. In addition, all Board of Trustee members and all HESC employees are required to take a comprehensive ethics training course at the time you first join the board and every year thereafter. This is a real-time interactive course, but it is offered online so you can participate remotely. You can go to the COLIG website or see me for more information about those courses. And for now, and then I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Alisea.
Thank you, Ms. Krejci. I now ask Mr. Mark Jerome, Audit Committee Chair, to proceed with his report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am pleased to present this report on behalf of the HESC Board of Trustees Audit Committee, which consists of Dr. David Harris, Dr. Manuel Rivera, Mr. Isaac Torres, and myself. On Wednesday, April 2nd, we held a meeting of the committee along with HESC staff. Before continuing my remarks, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Dr. David Harris for serving on the Audit Committee. Dr. Harris is stepping down from his role on the board and the Audit Committee. We all wish him the very best in his future endeavors. Today, I will share highlights of the April 2nd meeting and key points of the reports provided by the Director of Finance, the Internal Controls Officer, and the Director of Audits. Kayla Devine, the Director of Finance, provided a finance update, and here's what it said. The Special Revenue Fund that supports HESC's operating expenses started the 25-26 year with a balance of $50.6 million. Due to HESC's exit from the FFEL loan program and the related loss of operating revenue for the Special Revenue Fund, HESC will rely on its existing fund balance through fiscal year 25-26 and will transition to general fund support for operating support in fiscal year 26-27. Total disbursements for fiscal year 25-26 are expected to be $47 million, which includes salary and related benefits for staff, routine non-personal service expenses, as well as the new expenses related to the transition of HESC's Level 1 call center support to the Office of Children and Family Services, and transfers to the New York State Office of Information Technology. HESC is estimating that the Special Revenue Fund will have a balance at the close of 25-26. During this current fiscal year, Finance will develop a plan for review and approval of any remaining funds. Jeremy Hayes reviewed the new roles and achievements of the Internal Controls Office as follows. The ICO, as it's called, has officially assumed the roles of risk management, records management, and statewide financial systems user role validation compliance reviewer. ICO has also completed assessing functions of HR's recruitment process, finance's local assistance payments, and the Grants and Scholarships DREAM Act and Young Farmers Loan Forgiveness programs. ICO has also assisted with updating several agency-wide policy and procedures that will improve efficiencies throughout the agency. Mr. Hayes stated that HESC is required to annually certify to the Division of Budget as to the agency's internal controls. HESC is currently fully compliant with 3 of the 6 requirements and is partially compliant with the remaining 3 requirements, with a goal of being fully compliant by April 30th, 2026. Dora Diaz-Crowe provided the updates for the Audit Division. The Department of Audit's charter was revised to align with the requirements of the updated Global Internal Audit Standards. Additionally, there was a high-level overview of the changes to the audit charter, which includes adding a mandate and clarifying key responsibilities of the Audit Committee, management, and the Chief Audit Executive. At the request of Ms. Diaz-Crowe, I signed the audit charter on April 2nd, 2025. The committee received a recap of the 24-25 audit plan performance. 28 audits were planned, 10 were completed, 13 will be carried over to the 25-26 plan, and 5 follow-up audits were not performed due to a shift of resources to areas that required a review of IT-related matters impacting HESC's networks. Of the 10 completed audits, there were internal control deficiencies, a lack of compliance with contract requirements, a lack of or no internal procedures, and no established documented processes. Recommendations were made to address these areas and deficiencies. The 25-26 proposed audit plan included an overview of the planned audits. In total, for 25-26, Audit Division will perform 40 assurance, advisory, or follow-up audits. Upon a motion duly made and seconded, the plan was approved. Lastly, for fiscal year 23-24, 66 of the 107 recommendations remain open. For 24-25, there are 27 of 32 that are open. The Audit Department and ICO are actively working with HESC to close the open recommendations. This concludes my report. I welcome any questions before turning it back to Chairman Alicia. Thank you.
Are there any questions? Thank you, Mr. Jerome. I will turn it over to Ms. Crecci to proceed with a proposed resolution regarding amendments to HESC regulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you mentioned, today I will present for the board's consideration amendments to several HESC regulations. All of the proposed changes are technical in nature. As a state agency, HESC is required to respond to requests for information under the Freedom of Information Law, commonly known as FOIL, as well as requests for people's own personal information under the Personal Privacy Protection Law. For FOIL, HESC is proposing to change the deadline by which it must respond to appeals from 7 days to 10 days to correspond with the statutory limit. For EPPL, HESC is proposing to remove the language allowing for in-person requests and review of records and require all requests to be made in writing. HESC is also proposing a change in the PPPL appeal process in which appeals would be directed to the president or the president's designee instead of to the executive vice president. So on to the current resolution. This resolution would authorize HESC to take all necessary actions to propose these regulatory changes, including any action to publish in the state register, and permanently adopt the regulatory changes after the public comment period. If you vote to pass this resolution today, HESC will move forward with filing the proposed amendment, which requires that HESC make available a 60-day public comment period before the amended regulations are adopted. For anyone from the public interested in submitting comments, please email your comments to generalcounsel@hesc.ny.gov. So, Mr. Chairman, I turn it back to you to consider entertaining a motion to adopt the resolution at hand.
Thank you, Ms. Crecci. Do I have a motion to proceed and to adopt Resolution 2025-1 directing HESC to proceed with the filing of amended regulations concerning the Freedom of Information Law and Personal Privacy Protection Law?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just one question. Do we get many FOIL requests on an annual basis?
Yes, we do get a number of FOIL requests on an annual basis. The change to the regulations would only apply to FOIL appeals which is where the person does not agree with the response to the request. As far as appeals, we have only gotten one FOIL appeal since I started here in 2022.
Any other questions? If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the resolution, please raise your hands and say aye.
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 Okay. We have here in New York City, all ayes, Victor Alicea, Mark Jerome, Janessa Perez, Renee Sarmiento, and Isaac Torres. And in Albany,
And in Albany, we have ayes from Ms. Maxon, Ms. Frank, Dr. Rivera, Mr. Murphy, and Mr. Harvey.
Is anyone opposed? Any abstentions? I'm pleased to report that the resolution to implement amendments to the regulations concerning the Freedom of Information Law and Personal Privacy Protection Law passes. Thank you. I again turn it over to Ms. Gretchen to proceed with a proposed resolution of appreciation for Dr. David Harris' service on the Board of Trustees. Dr. Harris was not able to attend this board meeting, but please, let's proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you mentioned, today I will present for the board's consideration a resolution of appreciation for Board Trustee Dr. David Harris. Dr. Harris, who is president of Union College in Schenectady, has served on the Board of Trustees since 2023 and has also served as a member of our audit committee. So, Mr. Chairman, I turn it back to you to consider entertaining a motion to adopt the resolution at hand.
Great. Do I have a motion to accept the resolution thanking Dr. Harris for his service on the HEX Board of Trustees?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the resolution, please raise your hands and say aye.
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 thank you. Here in New York City, we have Dr. Alicea, all ayes, Victor Alicea, Mark Jerome, Janessa Perez, Renee Sarmiento, and Isaac Torres.
Thank you. Here in Albany, we have all ayes, Mr. Harvey, Mr. Murphy, Dr. Rivera, Ms. Frank, and Ms. Maxon.
Is anyone opposed? Any abstentions? I'm pleased to report that the resolution honoring Dr. Harris's service on the board passes. Thank you. And now, does anyone from the Leadership Council wish to address the board? Hearing none, thank you. According to our bylaws, we are required to schedule our next board meeting now. Please save the date of Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 for our next meeting.
Okay.
All right, do I have a motion to bring this meeting to a close?
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
Any discussion?
December 10th.
If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor to adjourn this meeting, please hold your hands up and say aye. Aye.
Aye. Everyone here in New York is in the affirmative. Dr. Alicea, Mark Jerome, Janessa Perez, Renee Sarmiento, and Isaac Torres.
Here in Albany, we also have everyone in the affirmative, Ms. Maxon, Ms. Frank, Dr. Rivera, Mr. Murphy, and Mr. Harvey.
The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.